Broncos country. Are the Broncos fully embracing this rebuild? Do you think it's a half measured approach? I want to know what y'all think. I'm going to break down my opinion today. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe. We're on our way. Thank you for 200. We're on our way to 500. So it means a lot to have you guys jumping on here. A lot of growth on the channel, but let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to link in the description a video show from Broncos Avenue. If you guys haven't checked out their show, the algorithm suggested it to me. Really well done. So this is kind of being done as a response to one of the questions that one of the hosts brought up. They kind of felt like the Broncos aren't fully embracing this rebuild yet. I kind of feel a little bit differently, and I'm going to break this down. But first, want to lead with the headline, okay? The Broncos now with eating the $53 million cap hit for Russell Wilson this year. It opens up a ton of space next year in 2025. Let me go ahead and share this first tweet from Cameron Parker of MHRT. Definitely go follow him. I'll link their channel in the description as well. Not sure if it was mentioned, but Over the Cap has us, the Broncos, at $103 million cap space for the Denver Broncos in 2025. Isn't that wonderful? So the hope is that this year we can find our quarterback. That's our hope. And then put a ton of talent and a really high level supporting cast around whatever quarterback that we have in 2025 and go for it. And right now, I do feel like the Broncos are embracing this rebuild. I think that, yes, like, have we re-signed some guys? Maybe kept some older players. Okay, like right now, Garrett Bowles still on the roster. Right now, Courtland Sutton's on the roster. That we'll figure out what's going on with Courtland Sutton here within the next few days when his $2 million guaranteed roster bonus is due later this week. But my hope is that I feel like Courtland Sutton's a good wide receiver. Maybe we can extend him for a little bit, spread out that cap hit. Maybe he can take a little bit of discount to stay here. I would love that. I think, like, definitely right now with, hey, our cap space, the $53 million. You got Lil Jordan Humphrey in here. You got Will Lutz's cap number that I put in here. It should be around the $4 million range. We got about $11 million of working capital to spend. This is outside holding money away for draft picks, of course. So, yeah, about $11 million that we can spend in free agency. And I don't know if we're getting a player to the quality of Courtland Sutton in free agency right now. I do hope that we draft somebody, but I don't think, guys, just because we've kept some of our older veterans around, I don't think that means that we're not fully embracing this rebuild. I think that one thing that you have to navigate very carefully is making sure that we do have enough guys on the roster to help lead and instill a culture. We don't want everybody to be young at the same time, because then there's no leadership hierarchy. Things can get a little murky. And you want to, especially if we're bringing in a rookie quarterback, whether that's in the first round or the third round, whatever, you want them to have some weapons that they can depend on, some veteran weapons, right? I mean, even with CJ Stroud this past year, right? You know, he had like Noah Brown, for instance, not the sexiest signing, right? But that was a really important wide receiver for him to have. They also had that guy from Michigan. His name is skipping my mind right now. But then also you got a veteran tight end such as Dalton Schultz that he can have. And so I think it's important that we're keeping some of these veterans on. And the guys, the free agents that we brought in, you know, they're all under 26 years old. So I think we are going in a direction, but you can't fully strip this thing down to where there's just no structure in place at all, because that just makes it even harder to rebuild moving forward. So hopefully we can figure out something with DJ Jones, but right now I think he's going to be on the roster. And yeah, we might be done with free agency. We might just be done with a lot of those big signings. We'll see if we can free up any more space. But again, I want to know what you guys feel. Right now, I feel like the Broncos they're embracing this thing. We haven't seen them take a hit or manipulate the cap in a way in which they're saying, you know what, we're just going to eat the money right now. We're not going to push this down the road. Okay. This is a different approach. This is a little bit of a different approach than what we've seen with Sean Payton in New Orleans as well. I think Sean Payton's wanting to approach this a little bit differently than where he was at the end of Drew Brees' career, where he was just trying to get the best team for that year. You're in a different stage, okay? He doesn't want to have those same problems right now without a franchise, maybe even Hall of Fame level quarterback, right? But I do think this is interesting. Right now, I don't see us signing another veteran quarterback. Too expensive when we only got $11 million or so to work with. And now I'm wondering too, I think that if Jared Stidham's going to be on the roster, we no doubt will be drafting another quarterback just to have another affordable quarterback in the room. Okay. So that could be somebody in the first round if we really like them. That could be somebody, a nice little Davis Mills type of player in the third or fourth or fifth round that we go with. But I'm thinking that, hey, whether it's Jared Stidham starting for us this year, the whole year, whether we draft a rookie quarterback that's not in the first round, that's somebody like Joe Nix, Rattler, Pratt, Penix, whatever. Hey, we use this year to figure out, did we strike gold with one of these guys? And if not, these guys, they're going to be fine tank commanders for us. So we can do what the Texans did. They drafted Davis Mills in the third. You said, you know what? We're just going to start him for the majority of the year, see if we strike gold, led them to a top 5 pick. They're able to get CJ Stroud. So I think that might be the approach that we're taking with this. Let's see if we got something. Okay. And if not, we got 25. Now, all this goes out the window if we're able to land, I guess, JJ McCarthy. I would imagine Sean Payton's really into him. But I just don't know. I just don't know. I guess this whole equation that I'm laying out, it's more so of if we don't find that guy in the first round. Now, if we do draft JJ McCarthy, he's going to be the guy. We're going to give him multiple years to figure this thing out. And in 2025, you hope that we can put around a strong supporting cast around him. But I feel like, man, as a Broncos fan, this is very refreshing. I just want to see entertaining football this year, and that's why I wouldn't hate it either. Like, Justin Fields has a ton of weaknesses that align with Russell Wilson's as well. But hey, if you're giving up a conditional 7th round pick or 6th round pick based on how he's doing, do you want to see how much he plays? Do you want to see, what he can do, if he can actually improve and whatnot? I feel like his ceiling's still higher than Russell Wilson's. And hey, again, see if you strike gold, but then you keep the assets for next year. You don't give Justin Fields his 5th-year option, whatever. He's a cheap contract, and we can just see if we can find gold. If not, we'll move on to 2025. So I just want to be entertained this year. I just want an entertaining tank commander if we go in that direction. So y'all let me know what you think about this. Again, shout out to Broncos Avenue for bringing this up on their podcast. Really good. Highly suggest you guys go subscribe. And subscribe here as well, as I'm bringing you guys daily Broncos content. I'll be back later once we get some news. And as always, everybody, go Broncos.